Imagine a boy whose only home was a humble log cabin. He had less than a year of formal schooling. His parents were poor, and life was incredibly harsh. Yet this very boy grew up to become the most revered president of the United States. He was the man who paved the way for the freedom of millions of enslaved people and who stitched a torn nation back together. He is none other than Abraham Lincoln. In today's video, we will dive into his incredible life story, his struggles, his unmatched courage, and the reasons why he remains immortal in the pages of history. February 12, 1809. Abraham Lincoln was born in a tiny village in the state of Kentucky, USA. His father, Thomas Lincoln, was a simple farmer. His mother, Nancy Lincoln, passed away when he was just 9 years old. The loss of his mother left a massive void in Lincoln's life. However, his stepmother, Sarah Bush Johnston, took him under her wing and raised him with deep affection. Lincoln himself once said, "She was my true mother." Due to extreme poverty, his total time spent in a schoolhouse added up to less than a single year. Everything else he taught himself. At night, he would read books by the dim glow of the fireplace. The Bible, history, books on law, whatever he could get his hands on, he devoured greedily. No one could have ever imagined that this self-taught boy would one day reach the highest office in the country.
In his youth, Lincoln took up all kinds of odd jobs, chopping wood, working as a grocery store clerk, and even serving as a postmaster. But his heart was always set on the law. Without ever stepping foot into a university, he built himself up as a lawyer solely by reading books on his own. In 1836, he obtained his license to practice law in the state of Illinois. Gradually, he stepped into the world of politics and was elected to the Illinois state legislature multiple times. People loved him for his deeply honest and outspoken nature. They affectionately called him Honest Abe. Yet his political journey was far from smooth. He faced defeat time and again in the Senate elections, but every single time he fell, he stood right back up. It was this sheer stubbornness and indomitable spirit that eventually drove him onto the grand stage of history.
The year was 1860. Abraham Lincoln won the U.S. presidential election, becoming the 16th president of the United States. But immediately after he took office, the country began to fracture. The southern states, fiercely holding on to the institution of slavery, seceded from the nation to form the Confederate States. Thus began the bloodiest chapter in American history, the Civil War. From 1861 to 1865, the war raged on for 4 agonizing years, claiming the lives of nearly 600,000 soldiers. During this dark period, Lincoln was under immense, unimaginable pressure. He faced fierce criticism from both the North and the South. Yet he remained absolutely steadfast in his ultimate goal. The nation must stay united, and slavery must come to an end.
January 1st, 1863, Lincoln signed a groundbreaking document that would change the course of history, the Emancipation Proclamation. With this single declaration, nearly 3.5 million enslaved people in the rebellious states were declared forever free. This was not just a legal document, it was a powerful message. A message that America truly wanted to become a land of freedom for all. Later, in his legendary Gettysburg Address, Lincoln declared that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. These few words remain to this day the ultimate definition and foundation of democracy worldwide. The Civil War came to an end in 1865. The North emerged victorious, and the nation was woven back together as one. But the joy of victory was heartbreakingly short-lived. On April 14, 1865, Lincoln was watching a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Suddenly, John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer, shot him from behind. The very next morning, America's greatest president passed away. The entire nation plunged into deep mourning. It was the end of an era. Yet, Lincoln's ideals never died. To this day, he lives on. His face is etched onto the American penny and the $5 bill. In Washington, D.C., his massive statue stands tall inside the Grand Lincoln Memorial.
What can we learn from the life of Abraham Lincoln? There is only one ultimate truth. Failure is not the end. He lost time and again. He failed in business, lost elections, and suffered the heartbreaking loss of loved ones. But he never stopped. When a person fights for the truth and moves forward with unyielding courage, history never forgets them.
So, that was the extraordinary life story of Abraham Lincoln. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments which part of Lincoln's journey inspired you the most. See you in the next video. Thank you.